show is not suitable for children, sensitive men, or insecure women. Can you trust somebody that doesn't take care of their kids?
I don't trust no man on earth that does not take care of their children.
What's the biggest red flag in a relationship?
Low effort and not being honest.
Most of the time, you would think that a bad financial mistake would be spending money on clothes or vacation or like spending money on women. My worst financial mistake was buying a home.
Like a king, give me my crown. Game time. Game time. Appreciate y'all. Happy Wednesday.
Top of the top.
Blackout after dark. We're going to talk when they get back from Africa.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But, you know, peaceful vibes.
For sure.
Much success to you, even if you wish me the opposite.
Wow.
Salute.
This is what happens when you invest properly, right?
Financial freedom.
Yeah, my only hope.
Salute to Black Sam and the Marathon crew. I got my Crenshaw shirt on today. Classic Crenshaw shirt. You know, I try to wear black-owned brands on Blackout. I try to wear black-owned brands all the time, but, you know, on Blackout, we highlight it. So most of the time it's brands that you may not be familiar with, but, you know, I've been wearing Marathon for a while. So
a minute.
It was in my suitcase, and I'm like, let me throw the Crenshaw shirt on. Shout out to the bros, and congratulations. They just opened their second Marathon burger on Venice Beach.
Wow,
so,
congrats. Okay.
Yeah. So they expanded. Shout out to Sam, man.
Legend.
In the whole unit, man. One of the last real ones left.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. But yeah, we still out here. Myself and Troy, we still in Africa. We in Kenya. Still. We were supposed to leave, but we extended our stay.
Good move.
Had to do a few things, you know, had to see some lions.
Okay.
Gotta see a lion before I leave.
The baboon was on the car, I saw.
The baboons on the car is crazy. Mm-hmm. And they just on the street. You know, Kenya's one of these places where driving down the street, you might see a baboon, might see a zebra, might see a cow. It's just they got a lot of animals out here.
You never know.
You never know. But man, shout out to everybody in Kenya. Everybody has been showing us love. Either they in Kenya or they might be from Kenya, living in America, living in different places, and they, you know, are happy that we're in their country, repping it the right way. And Khalees, shout out to Khalees, man. She's heavy in the game, real estate. Man, I don't think people understand what she's doing.
Nope, they always sleeping. And we got to talk about it. Women are investing at a high clip in stocks, real estate, business. Fellas, you better catch up. I see why a lot of women checking out. I don't need no husband. I'm like, so stay tuned, alert, right?
That's a fact. Stay tuned, alert. But all right, we'll talk about all that stuff. Just wanted to kind of, you know, start the show off with some positive energy. But do remember, InvestFest is approaching. We'll be naming the lineup very, very soon. Working on some big fish, some whales, I would say. Not even on the celebrity aspect, but the Billy talk. We try to get some more Billies in there.
It's been quite a few.
It's been quite a few, my brother.
And I'm gonna be real. And my piece was on this week. I don't know another platform, and I'm not just saying this in association or in partnership with, but when y'all try and like defame, I don't know as many billionaires that have been on a black platform in the history of black media. For the record,
it's never happened.
Yep,
respectfully.
So when people get to be like, I haven't heard these names. Yeah, because you're not a student business. That's why. You're dumb. Who's Robert Smith? That tells me more about you than it does about us. I'm not caping, but when y'all get in that bag, yo, I don't know why people like them. I'm like, the lineup look crazy off that Billy list. Look at
Market Mondays. We don't had David Rubenstein. People never even heard of David Rubenstein, right? We had Mark Cuban. Right, we had Mike Novogratz several different times.
Yep,
we did a live Madison Square Garden with Don Peebles.
Facts.
We just did, we just did the Big Short.
Oh yeah, yep. Steve Eastman. Yep, legend.
We just did that. quiet billionaire. No, like it's
What
a
are we
lot of
talking about?
exposure. We're giving a lot of exposure. I'm saying, what are y'all talking
While
about?
being lit, and I'm gonna keep telling y'all, nobody cares about the week to week.
It's
You gotta have some real
levels,
acumen to
bro.
talk about this.
It's really levels, man. Like, stop. Stop. But yeah, get your tickets to InvestFest.
Yes.
InvestFest.com, August 22nd to August 24th in Atlanta, Georgia. Vendor booths, tickets available right now. Ian, Red Panda Rebellion. What is what's going on?
Yeah, if you want to learn how to get rich in the market, know where to get in, where to get out. We have a quick entry price, swing trade price, and load the boat price, which gives you like 120 stocks, 120 different prices of where to invest in. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. If you never want to know where to guess what to buy or where to get in, please go to Stock Club, go to ianinvest.com. I love y'all so much. I'm about to go to my other home in June and get to working on this presentation. So I've been inspired. And I ain't been home in a little minute, so y'all inspired me. I gotta go put pen to pad. Ooh, can't wait.
Home.
Yeah, it's gonna be
last week. I was in my other crib.
Hello. While y'all get to talking, a few years in, Scheinbaum, I need Presidente. Presidenta, I need to meet with you soon. So you don't like he and the way he delivered the information. I delivered myself freedom. I'm my own Harriet Tubman. And for y'all too.
Oh man. I bet. Let's get into it. There's a lot going on, bro.
Yeah.
First and foremost, we're gonna talk about this. Yeah. You know, I hate to see it. Black love was something that I like the slogan. I like the idea, right? But you know, shout out to Papoose and shout out to Remy Ma. You know, I'm sure they're gonna try to get through their issues. You know, I just hate to see people talk in public about their relationship. I've said this multiple times. But one thing that did come out from Papoose perspective, at least, I don't think Remy confirmed this, is that he said that she cheated on him multiple times and that they actually went to therapy for it. And she continued to cheat. Nah, no way, Jose.
I'll be mature.
Okay. How would you feel about going to therapy if your woman cheated on you?
What T.I. say? What you know about that? What? Nah. What is there to? No, I'm not sitting down with Dr. Leibowitz or whoever after you move foul. So if you can go to therapy before the cheat, I don't know. Listen, I'm gonna wake it up today. Even the black love thing that he was pushing, fellas, I'm gonna be real with you. We start talking about it on Market Mondays. You got to be careful in how much you profess your love and make sure that she matches the energy that you feel. I'm going to say it, Pap. I love you. Rim shot to you. She didn't love him how he loved her.
It didn't look mutual.
So when Corey told me he packed up and moved his life and moved closer to what? Like, okay, I get holding it down. But if it's not reciprocal, and fellas, you have to be comfortable asking your homeboys, hey, what you think? Or your family. I'll go to my parents. What you think of this? If you don't get the big green light, it's a no. A lot of times your friends won't tell you the truth because you're so delusional and so in love that they know you're going to be hurt if they tell you the truth. You have to get with somebody who cares about you or respects you. And the other part is the Bilal theory. Your girl can't make more than you, bro. They will hold it down for 3 or 4 months, but if they're the bag earner in the relationship, it's a certain amount of respect that they're going to lose for you. Everything is not about money, but a big part of it is.
You know what? It's one of these things where, you know, I hate to say I told you so, but not even about this relationship, but about life in general. I have a lot of opinions about certain things, and a lot of times people might think that I'm a little too harsh or, you know, my views are outdated, but, you know, they're consistent. And I've said before, it's not going to work if you're with somebody that's going to make more money than you. Nine times out of 10, there's always exceptions to the rule. This is a perfect example of that, because the first thing that she did was run to social media and say that he's the brokest person that she's ever been with, and her new man makes more money than him. Why she's talking about money? She's using that. So if she wasn't using it when she was with him, she was it was a resentment that she was holding on to. Because whatever somebody says after a breakout, they've been thinking about that shit the whole time.
The whole time. Yep.
That's a gem for you. And whatever they said, if they called you lazy, if they said that you was broke, if they said that you was ugly, whatever they said in the heat of the moment of a breakup, they've been thinking about that for 4 years.
Facts.
So she's been thinking about finances and how he wasn't making enough money. That goes back to my theory. It's not going to work. Also, it goes back to my theory of when I say a girl cheats on you, you gotta quit cold turkey. You can't take her back after she cheats on you. This is why. She cheated on him, and then they go to therapy, and then she cheats on him again. Like, bro, once you cross that line, it's no coming back.
It's over with. And fellas, you got to be careful. Some of them are slumber parties. It don't always be the guy, it be the girl sometimes. That's a different. It's an epidemic. Oh, it's just girls' night. Okay,
it's girls' night.
20v1.
20v1.
You would be surprised. So yeah, if your girl cheats, you got to leave. I'm pro therapy, but pro therapy after cheating, no, wrap it up. Hit that block. Who's calling my phone? But you got to stay lit. I'm gonna say this too. They won't make those moves if they know that you can replace them. I'm sorry. Even Pap, it's a good branding lesson. You got to remind people of your greatness. She's saying that he's the brokest person. I remember when it was a bidding war of a papoose. What, 3 or 4 million? Like Pap, back when he got that deal, rest in peace, K Slay. That was a big deal for an artist to get that kind of look and not have a hit single. You got to remind people of your greatness and stay on your shit every day. But go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
You have to know the ratio for how much they love you versus you love them. Some of y'all didn't like the commentary on Market Mondays, and your relationship is in shambles. For me, at least 3-1. If I don't feel an over level of happiness or love, no, I'm not married, but my dating life been going well for a long time. 3-1. If it ain't 3-1, you gotta let it go. If it's 1-1, that's like a 0-day expiration because they'll tell you on Netflix they like somebody. Oh, Michael B. Jordan is sitting in stack. What's up? See, some of y'all went to go see Sinners and your wife was sitting right next to you.
So, all right. So to be fair about this, because for the women that's listening and say,
"I love you,"
that's not fair. Why would I have to love a man 3 times more than he loves me? What would be your reply?
Do what you want to do. This is my ratio.
Do what you want to do.
But for the life I live and can provide and make life easy for you, and it feels like the moments before you get into heaven. Some of y'all be in purgatory. I can't give a God experience, but it's heaven-esque. It's nirvana. So, hello. And listen, and some of y'all mamas and grandmamas taught y'all the other part, ladies. Listen, we're gonna talk about how to catch a simp that don't know later. Some of y'all mamas and grandmamas told y'all the man got to love you more. I'm not mad at that. That's cool. But for me, it got to be 3-1. It got to be. If I don't feel you beaming when I walk in the room, any given Sunday, I'll be Willa beaming. Make you throw up when I hit that block button. Sorry. Any given Sunday, randomly too. Right after brunch. I'll send you the cash app for the brunch to hit the block. Find something else. Who's calling my phone? Sorry, these are the lessons you need to know after you get the bag. I'm sorry. Fellas, check the ratio of how much he texts you. The good morning, daddy. Hope you have an amazing day, amazing show. I need all that shit. You know what I mean? Because some of y'all will get mad when I pop up with my little pictures and shit. Oh my God, why you choosing that? Effort and act right. You was light on your text, and now you done lost out. I'm the other NVIDIA, motherfucker, for the record. These are just jokes written by 85 South. Oh, man. What's the ratio for you that you need? Because you got a power ratio.
I need 60-40. That's fair.
That's fair.
70-30 is a good vibe. Now, the dangerous thing is once you start to get to 80-20, that becomes dangerous.
Yeah, it's a power dynamic issue at that point.
Well, it's also a stalking. You're dealing with somebody that's crazy. You don't want somebody to love you too much.
I've had that. That shit is scary. Once they get to finding you at different places. What? Oh boy,
that's scary. That's a scary dynamic that you find yourself in.
Yeah. Then they start calling you from the what's that shit called text now, make 80 different numbers and
show up at your job
randomly,
car bomb your V on the Kid Cudi shit.
Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit insensitive.
Kid Cudi took the stand.
Why are people calling him a snitch for that if he's not in the streets?
Because he took the stand when he could have took the fifth. He didn't have to. This is a common misconception. People are like, well, he got summoned by the government. No, you have a right to plead the fifth, and he wasn't a crucial witness to any criminal activity as far as related to a RICO indictment. Long story short, he didn't have to testify.
I think
why is he taking the stand?
I think he's still hurt.
You trying to send a man to jail for the rest of his life because
he took back his word?
That's nasty.
And I'm not saying, and they put a lot on that car bomb. I thought Diddy went full Joker and blew the car up and put the
Molotov cocktail, on a drunken night.
That's a Harlem thing. I'd have heard that done a few times. I'm like, y'all notorious.
Molotov
light the Ciroc. Ooh, Lord.
Oh man.
Yeah. But prayers for Papoose and Remy. But you have to be mindful. And I'm not gonna say that the campaign was a sham, but once I saw she gave more energy towards this and Nikki than ever acknowledging him, I'm like, no, it's over with.
No, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. And like you said, it always looked lopsided. The way that he was like love bombing,
yeah,
it didn't look like it was reciprocated.
You think he had to do that because he maybe not had the motion that she wanted him to have?
I'm not sure, but he was doing a lot. Like he was visiting her every single week in jail. He was, she came out. He was doing, it's just slow and steady wins the race.
Yep.
Those relationships that are like super flammable, they're gonna burn out. Like when it's like
when it's super hot in the beginning,
1,000 roses, and we go into 18 countries in 1 year, and we go in like you're doing too much because what ends up happening is that now what, right? Like you did everything already. It's over.
Yep.
Now when that plane lands, now what you gonna do?
Yep. Get something new.
Peekaboo. Peekaboo.
Yep.
Let's talk about I saw this video on Instagram and I thought it was interesting. And he's from New York, gentleman from New York. I've been following him for a couple months now. His name is Will Mills. You probably seen him. He's been going viral a lot lately. And he's the guy that's like pack up.
Yeah.
Most of it, he did a video about there's been studies that said that single women own homes at higher levels than single men. Right? And I think Matt has even spoken about this. A lot of the real estate people have spoken about this. So this is interesting because his thing is like, yeah, that's true, but only because single men in general don't want a home. They'll be cool. They'll be cool with a condo. They'll be cool with an apartment, like minimalist, like, just get a nice car, have a condo. They don't need all that space. His thing was like, women need space because they need space. They need space for that. Their energy that they bring. Yeah. And a man only buys a home to satisfy a woman. It was interesting. I read
that's a hell of a mistake though. But I've heard that said before.
Yeah, I read the comments and a lot of people, everybody seemed to be pretty much in agreement with him. So I was thinking about this. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me critically think about this. And he's not 100% wrong in what he's saying, because even for me, like, this might sound crazy to say, but the reason why I bought a home, honestly, is because I didn't have enough closet space.
Sure.
I'm be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna be completely honest with you about it. I didn't have enough closet space. I ran out of closet space. Like I turned my son's room into a closet, my closet. I turned my closet. I got shoes all over.
Yeah.
I got the coat closet. I got a rack in the hall. It was just too much. It's too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, you know what? I've outgrown this. I need a house, but I purchased the house because of a closet.
No, he gonna get to sniffing again. He finna record as soon as he hit us. Black men out here buy houses because of closets. I thought you told him not to buy a house.
Surprise.
Okay. So peekaboo. Okay.
But no, so seriously though, right? So it's like it wasn't a top level priority for me, being that I'm a single man, right? I have a son. So at a certain point in time, you need more space even as he gets older. But if you're a single man and because if you have a family, then that's different, right? But if you're a single man, I could understand the rationale. Now, what's important to understand here is that when they say single women own more homes than men, they're considering living quarters. So owning a condo is considered owning a home.
Yeah.
Owning an apartment is considered owning a home.
Yeah.
So you can be a minimalist and not want to deal with the headache, because there is a headache of owning a big house, right? But that doesn't mean that you should just disregard owning some level of real estate, because you can own an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You can own a condo.
Yeah.
You can own a townhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's the part that I thought was some level of disconnect. Just because you think you don't need it or you're a minimalist, well, you still got to live somewhere. So it may make more sense for you to rent, but I wouldn't just totally disregard home ownership because you don't have a family. That's where I'm going with this, right? Just because you don't have a family, I wouldn't totally disregard home ownership, because there's still pathways to be a home owner that don't include owning a physical single family home. And when they do those reports, they're putting all of those into one bucket of home owners. If you buy a condo, you're a home owner.
Yep.
Even though you don't have a quote unquote single family home. You're still a home owner. Yeah. Right. So I just don't want that narrative to just get accepted by especially Black men, because we're already at the lowest level of wealth.
Yeah. And that's the number one reason to own a home, even if you're a single man, is the cost of inflation. I bring it up all the time. There are some houses in Jonesboro and Alpharetta that 10 years ago were half of what they are now. And then sometimes in Alpharetta, 3 times what they were in 2010. So there's a common trend, especially in Miami, some parts of Atlanta, Houston, LA. I don't even want to talk about New York, but I'm seeing median rent for if you are a 6-figure earner being $6,000 and $7,000 now. In 4 years, that'll probably be $10,000. Do you know for $10,000 a month what you can get in most cities if you own a home? So just the cost of inflation and the premium that you're going to get over like a 5-year return, you have to. But I definitely agree with the point that maybe men don't do it because they don't have a family, but it's still a good investment. It's better to dig the well before you're thirsty and lock something in at a great rate and at a great price, so you're not paying 3 times the amount and wait until when you get a family. And if you have it before you find the love of your life and make them, where we're going to stay, this is what I want, 16 by 16 bathroom tile panel conversations go way smoother. You
bring up a good point. As far as it's better to dig a well before you're thirsty. That's a fact. You buy a rain jacket before it's raining. Absolutely. Right. And I feel like because what this can potentially do is lead way to a variety of things that just says like, well, because that it's a mentality of like, I'm single, I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. The real estate thing, you can make an argument, but it's a slippery slope, because then you can make the same argument of I'm not buying any stocks. I don't got nobody to care for. I'm not getting life insurance. I don't got nobody to care for. I'm not putting money away for my retirement. Fuck it. I'm gonna just live off the land. Just, you know what I'm saying? I got my bread. I'm just going to go to the movies when I'm gonna go on vacation. But that's a real mentality though that millions of people have. That millions of men have. That's a real mentality that millions of single men, and some even married, but that's a real mentality that single men have. And just that's another thing. the word single is a little misleading because even though you're single, a lot of times you still have a kid or you have kids.
Yep.
So yeah, you're a bachelor, but you still have a family.
And a lot of y'all are investing in women and not getting any return, simping and tricking, but won't invest in stocks or real estate. That's crazy to me. Like for a lot of men, your number one investment is giving your money away to another woman. Nails, hair, whatever little date excursion y'all do, lemon drop excursion. A lot of y'all are spending money on women and playing that single card. You have to begin to invest before it's too late. Because some of these, if the median is what, 5,000 in New York, in 6 years it's probably going to be 12 or 13,000. Most people are going to be Jersey's going up like crazy. All y'all not going to move to Connecticut and Vermont. Like Houston's getting to the same position as well. Atlanta, we talked about it last week. Most of the hedge funds are buying up that and regentrifying Atlanta. They want to take their land back in the land of DEI and MAGA at full scale. You better get some of these properties while they're cheap. I've been looking the last 8-9 months. Trust me. So,
and it's almost over. Like it's almost over. Like I don't think people fully gonna understand. Like I don't care what asset you buy. You better buy assets. You better get some assets. You better get some. All this shit of I'm just going to just live for today type shit. Man,
it's over with.
And that's why it's like even for podcasters, right? Like I'm not a podcaster.
Thank you.
I just want y'all to fully understand. We're not podcasters, right? We have a show that we use to communicate our messaging, and we're not influencers. We have a high level of influence. So this was never an end all be all to try to be the biggest podcaster, to try to have the most views. Like you
view babies are broke. I'm gonna say it. Everybody, you view babies are broke. I say this all the time. Let's wake it up, including everybody. If I don't see it on the balance sheet of BlackRock, Citadel, JP Morgan, you know who don't got a podcast? Tesla CEO Elon or Zuckerberg. You have to stop confusing the medium, which is the media aspect, with the actual business model.
Right.
They tried to educate y'all and tell y'all, yo, podcasters don't educate themselves, and then y'all got mad about that. Most of y'all are scraping and scrambling financially, and it's the wrong model. I know y'all saw the report that podcasts are supposed to grow by 7.8% in 2026. That ain't for y'all category.
That's a fact. It's over.
Sorry.
Like this is a media company that we use to produce, to amplify our message.
Yep.
I'm in Africa right now. The number one concern is not potting. I'm not trying to win the potting award.
Hello.
Yeah, respectfully.
And then now they got the Golden Globes category. It ain't gonna be too many people of a darker hue who gonna be able to win that. Especially if y'all talking about Cooking with Kaya and DDG and highly. Bro, you gotta talk about shit that moves the world. But what do I know? But I kept telling y'all, a bunch of y'all gonna go out of business. I said this 2 years ago. Yo, you tripping. You don't understand analytics of I understand money. All y'all little favorite podcasters calling me. Yo, can I get this? Okay. I'm the other gimlet, motherfucker. For the record.
I know y'all broke because once you start talking about a deal, you're broke. Because that lets me know that you're not getting money. You're getting money. You're trying to get a deal. That's like a record deal. Like that's why when Jay said,
the new rappers.
I thought I told you I'm not a rapper. Like you know what I'm saying, like you're still trying to get signed. If you get signed, that's a blessing. But being that I mean, if you get a good deal, you know, I'm just saying because if you have no other ways to make money and you just relying on sponsorships and ads, bro. If we was relying on sponsorships and ads to survive,
I would have up a sign too.
Wouldn't be nowhere.
Pod for food.
We wouldn't be nowhere near. Like, you know, so you can't say everything, right? But if you're a rational person, you can do some level of deductive reasoning. You think that we've been able to travel the world 13 times in 4 years because of revenue that we've generated from a podcast?
Nope.
What are you talking
and our CPMs are higher than that little general slop y'all be talking about. For the record, yo. What do I know? I was trying to tell y'all on Spaces for a year. Yo, you don't know. Y'all be like, yo, when you go sign with Joe? I only do equity and partnership agreements. Keep telling y'all, like everything I do, I own part of. Shout out to my guy. That's like that's the only part we try to. Hey, we figured that part out. Cool, but I'm not looking to sign to nobody. Cool. Read the tea leaves. What you say?
Read the tea leaves.
I get on my nerves talking that shit. Then like, don't nobody want to hear about stocks. Don't nobody want to hear y'all takes about what everybody else talking about.
Yeah, and y'all keep talking this shit. Yo, they not really giving the real game. They talking that fake shit. Like proof. It's a proof of concept.
Facts.
Look at the critic and look at us. On a certain level, you got to say success is the biggest barometer of if a person is worthy of listening to or not. Everything that we said, you actually seen us do in real time, let alone the information that we've given the billionaires that we talked to. We've said shit. You dudes is street corner just trying to figure shit out type shit.
Well, we didn't keep our promise of being humble this year. We both could use work. Troy, I commend you.
But you got to be honest though. You know that this shit ain't no. You know that there's levels, and you know that like that's why it's just amazing. Like you know you're not on that level, bro. You know that.
You got to be great at your craft. And I'm seeing a lot of y'all trying to navigate into the space. It's not that I make it look easy. It's not. But
you gotta just stay in your lane. There's nothing wrong with staying in your lane.
Yeah.
But you can't like this shit is a little too far going to try to figure out.
Casa not just has streaming university. If it doesn't show you if podcasting was that profitable, he would pod. He's streaming. It's a difference. It's a different business model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of streaming, they caught Macron and 4K getting mushed in the face. I got a theory, but why do you think his wife pushed him on Air France's version of Air Force One? This is crazy.
Man, he's losing too many countries in Africa. He's losing too many countries.
Ibrahim Touré fought. This is
Ibrahim Touré. But you know, it's one of these things. Look, anybody can get mushed by their wife. I don't know what he did, but the way he handled it was poor. Because he tried to play it off on some Borat shit, like, and
what
then he
can
and
you
then
do?
But then he puts a whole statement out of I was just playing and with like I wouldn't just say don't say nothing.
Oh yeah.
Problems with the wife don't discuss them. Like what you got to say? I don't got nothing to say. It's my wife. Like I don't owe you an explanation.
Thank you.
You got to stop explaining yourself all the time. Sometimes in life, I'm not explaining myself. Like if somebody, even now, a bozo says something about me online, yeah, I could go back and say, but I'm not saying nobody's name because motherfuckers get clout from saying
from that. Yep.
So I'm not saying I don't need to explain something. I'm not. If we run into each other and it's worth an explanation, then maybe. But I'm not calling nobody's phone.
Don't let him record you this time, though.
Huh? I'm not brokering. No, it's a fact. I'm not brokering any peace treaties because I know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you don't know what's going on, you'll figure this out eventually, or just believe whatever you want to believe. I don't care. It's not going. Nothing's going to happen. You know, nothing ever is going to happen. So, all right, believe your truth. Everybody's got their own truth. That's what I realized.
I hate that shit, yo. There's only one truth. You making all these fucking multiverses of truth. Nah. Some of y'all be lying and delusional.
And have higher self opinions about yourself than nobody knows you.
Than has been earned.
Nobody knows you.
Yeah.
But for Macron, it's an embarrassing moment for sure.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have to figure out a way to kind of rectify that situation because that can't happen. No matter what, your wife can't slap you in
public.
Air Force One on a get out type
Has
shit.
Has that ever happened to a world leader? We're just seeing shit that we should not be seeing. And she knew when that door opened. She felt that breeze. Oh, I'm gonna get you now.
Yeah, but the way that he turned, he looked like he was
shocked. What?
Yeah.
My boy froze.
Yo, how long? This is my thing, right? these so-called democracies, how long are these people in office? It seems like this dude's been in office for at least 14 years.
Yeah.
Like all of these, you ever realize, you think about that? Like all of these, I'm like, damn, like, yo, this dude's been in office since Obama was there. Like, the fuck? I thought this was a democracy.
Well, clearly he's won every election that he's ran for, right?
So there's no term limits. There's no it's just a 20-year run.
Maybe he's been doing so exceptionally well leading France that the people wanted him back in.
No, he had riots from people that was saying that he was trying to take away the Social Security system, and I don't know. It just seems a little weird to me that all of these European type of countries or European influenced countries that always preach democracy, and they be having the same shit that a dictator does. It's just dressed up a little bit better.
Yeah,
but
democracy is an illusion.
Yeah, this dude's been president as long as Vladimir Putin has been president.
Another great citizen and leader, right?
Man,
it reduced the previous 7-year term to 5 years. Oh wow, this is interesting. Okay. Lobby to get the reform in. Even here, we live in a republic, but they say that we have a democratic state. No, we don't. We have a republic. And if you factor in the companies that run the country, we really have a technocracy, because most of our tech giants have at least the equal level of power as our president. Not so bad you have to kick him out and make him go back to his main job to not break that illusion.
Is democracy overrated?
I can hear my mom and dad talking, so I'm not well versed enough in democratic regimes to know if it's overrated or not. So,
okay,
yeah, one republic for which it stands. They tell you right when you do that salute.
Salute. Okay, so a star athlete recently got married with no prenup. Allegedly. Why do you think that people are still getting married without a prenup, especially high-profile celebrities? After we've seen everything that could potentially happen, if you're a high-profile celebrity who's on his way to make millions, already has millions, why do you think now in 2025 people are still choosing at that level of stardom to get married without prenups?
Fear of losing what they have. I really think that same magic that Belichick's girlfriend put on him, she putting on him with this prenup, and they're masking it as, if you love me, you wouldn't do it. We're gonna be together forever, so why we need a prenup?
But the thing about it is that as a star, celebrity, millionaire, you have leverage. Let's just be honest, right? So you can say, okay, if you don't sign a prenup, you don't love me, and therefore we're not getting married.
But he feels like he can't replace that girl. We have all had a friend who I'm like, you're a zoologist, you picked a bird. Listen, no, she's not a bird. I love her. She's everything to me. And it's probably phenomenal. But you did the Dr. Dolittle, and he looked as happy as can be. He looked sprung, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching a little video even of the guy of the G-Wagon. Cool. But the energy, I'm always mindful of space in the pictures and who looks happy. He looked too over-indexing on the happiness. She didn't look as happy. So, but to her, we got to give her credit. He the other Kathy Wood. Ooh, ladies, here's a trick. You got to catch you a high elite athlete who hadn't had no bitches before and then lock them into something serious. She put on a master class. Because there's a lot of old harlots from the 80s who still trying to get this move off. She caught this at 23. I'm not mad. I'm not. Dion tried to talk to him. His dad tried to talk to him. The internet tried. Hey, brother, this ain't the one. Didn't listen.
I would say this, right? It's not advisable for somebody to enter into that type of situation unprotected, That's all. You know,
For
I
sure.
understand. I understand the love. I understand that, but just from a purely financial standpoint, insurance, any level of insurance is just made for protection. Hopefully, you never have to use it, right?
Mhm.
Hopefully, we never. And you could be extremely fair and give a lot of money in the prenup to
If
like
you
you
want
can
to.
give. Okay, I give when we leave. I give you $4-5 million, right?
Mhm.
But
That's crazy off the rip just to throw in a section A.
I'm just saying, if that's the
If you
case, because
want to, yeah.
you know, it's just one of these things, right? But protection is made as a safety mechanism. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah. Yeah,
It doesn't mean
mandatory.
doesn't mean I don't love you. I just want to protect both of us. That's all.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of former bad girls that are cleaning up for the Good Girl Act to get the bag. I'm not mad at you. Fellas, you just got to be aware of the game. When they reform too fast, it's an angle.
I saw something on Instagram that I reposted in my story where it said that guy said he doesn't trust people that take naps.
Oh, you can't fuck with me then. I'm a nap guru, nap king. If I get to, I'm nap king Cole.
You take naps?
What? How you think I've been having good energy the last 3 years? The first year we was doing market money. I ain't taking no naps. Bad energy.
You know, the only thing I never understood about naps is that it throws off your routine. Because whenever I take a nap, if I go to sleep during daytime, I can't sleep at nighttime.
You got to keep it 20 minutes max, recharge.
And then I'm a paranoid person. I feel like
paranoid when you taking naps?
Yeah, I feel like something is happening.
Oh, wow. I feel you.
While I'm sleeping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's 3 o'clock. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning, it's like, okay, you know, it's quiet outside. But 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's cars and there's traffic and fucking stock market is crashing. And I just feel like
you miss some new, like, somebody going live talking about you. I feel you. But biologically though, I forgot what it's called, but the sleeping and napping, it helps drain the toxins out of your brain. For everybody who went to med school, what's the actual term? But it does help recharge your body properly, especially after a stressful day. Like for me, normally like on Mondays or Friday after trading, like 3:15, I'm a recharge, or before I go get Xander, because it's really important to me to like be in good energy when I get him. I used to not nap and just see forward and like 5 coffees, and I can't do it no more.
But you know what too? I feel like, at least for me, the more you sleep, the more tired you are.
If you over-index on it, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've had time where I might just stay in bed like all day because I've just been running around for 3 weeks in a row, and then I'm tired. I'm not. I don't feel recharged. I feel tired.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I haven't been able to get REM sleep. Have you ever been able to get REM sleep?
Yeah. Well, when I stay off caffeine, yeah, for sure.
You do that naturally, or you have to have like some level of hypnosis for that?
Just naturally.
Okay, because I don't.
You've never had REM sleep?
I sleep with one eye open. Like I'm literally.
Bro, get your guy, yo. What? You don't sleep peacefully?
I don't sleep peacefully at all. Because you know I'm a recovering insomnia. Yeah. I had insomnia for a long time. It's getting better now, but I sleep with one eye open. Like I very light sleeper. I wake up.
Oh, me too.
Middle of the night. I'm on my cell phone. I have.
You got to put the phone in the other room. Oh, this is what I do. So I get on YouTube. I play the little thunderstorm, black screen, phone in the other room, or on a plane, little sleeping mask. You got to. Health is wealth. Everybody like, yo, you seem so much jovial. Getting the wrong people out of my life and getting some rest makes a hell of a difference, and it makes you sharper on the attack too.
You know, it does help. These blackout curtains, like
for sure.
Where we're at now, they got these black. Like I be waking. It could be 8 o'clock in the afternoon. It could be 8 o'clock in the morning. You would think it's 1 o'clock at night. Like, that's helpful. But absolutely. Like living in like the high rises and stuff like that. Like these buildings, the sun will just come in and there's nothing you can do about it.
Burn you like you in sinners.
You're up with the sun.
Should be bright as hell. Yeah,
that's a fact. No matter whether you want to be or not, you're up with the sun. Like blackout curtains are highly advisable.
For sure. So you don't trust me now because I nap? I'm standing in my napness.
No. I respect it. I just
my energy has been better, right?
I respect it. I just could never get into a nap thing. Even when I was a kid, when you was a kid, they used to make you go to take naps.
Oh, I hated that. Yeah.
I used to stay up during the nap on some espionage type shit.
Yeah. It's funny, like getting older though, everything they told us to do as kids, like go outside and play, take a nap, like I love to do now. Before I was just rebellious for no reason. No, I don't want to. Now it's like, okay, I'm enjoying having some of them down moments.
It's crazy. So we out here and we spoke with Khalees. Stay tuned. But she was telling us she has an 8-year-old child.
Mm-hmm.
And her 8-year-old is homeschooled and the teacher is AI. And it's 2 hours a day.
That's smart.
It's the most efficient program ever. And it's been proven that. So remember when Bill Gates said that artificial intelligence, the two careers that's going to impact the most is the medical profession and schools, education. Yep. And there was a lot of people that was saying that there's no way that education could be replaced by artificial intelligence because you need teachers. I saw a report that was showing like there's like a small group in Texas that was doing AI and they've tested higher. They've tested higher than people with regular teachers. And now, hold on for a minute. I'm good, bro. And now you got Khalees, who firsthand experience is telling me that her child is learning at a higher level, and it's only 2 hours a day. Because if you really think about it, most of the time you only got the capacity to concentrate for a couple of hours out the day anyway. Yep. And most of the time when you really learn shit, it don't take you 8 hours to learn something.
Nope.
Like I could watch a documentary and I could pick something up and it doesn't take me as an adult to study from 7 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon to learn something.
Yeah, it's not
after efficient. A while, you just you're waking up too early and your brain is not even awake. You're struggling, and B, half the day is spent nodding off, dozing, talking to girls, not concentrating.
Yep.
Going outside, extended lunch breaks, extended, PE shit. Like,
yeah. If you do a good concentrated 30 minutes, like I even took Xander's summer schedule and reformatted it yesterday in ChatGPT. The prompting matters a lot though, but like doing it in 20-minute blocks, 20 minutes reading, 20 minutes science, 20 math, take a little break, go play, 20 minutes of like advanced level learning. If you do 20 minutes a day, it'll add up really quick, especially for like when a child is still in that curious phase. And because they're really adaptive at learning, I think less is more. It's kind of like the hoopers I know, like shout out to Etwan Moore. Like I would just see him consistently go to the gym a couple hours a day. I know kids who would try and do 5 hours a day on Saturday, then they take off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, then go back. I'm like, those short bursts of repetition every day matters a hell of a lot.
You know what else I've been thinking about as far as on the education steps, staying on education. So, we're in Africa right now. And this is like this in most parts of the world, but especially in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Every African that I've ever known in life, and especially Africans that live in Africa, speak anywhere from 3 to 5 languages.
Yeah.
They usually speak their, like the colonized tongue. So it's like here, right? Like Britain colonized Kenya. So everybody speaks English.
Yep.
But then they speak the local language of a dialect, the Swahili dialect, right? They all speak their local language.
Beautiful.
And then they'll a lot of times they'll either speak another tribal local language or they'll speak another European language like French. A lot of people speak French.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been the case. When we was in Rwanda used to be a German colony, and then it was taken over by Belgium.
Okay.
Now, the interesting thing with Belgium is that Belgium speaks French. They speak French in Belgium. So they were speaking French until like 20 years ago, when I guess they decided that French was a language that's not really universally accepted. Mm-hmm. English is a university. So they switched everything and made everybody learn English. So most people in Rwanda know French and English fluently, and their native tongue as well.
Wow.
Which is also a dialect of a Swahili dialect, because there's different variations of Swahili. But and then there's people that know Portuguese, there's people that know French, some people know Spanish. They know at least 3 to 5 languages. And this is every educational level, from an Uber driver to the CEO of a company. It doesn't matter how high up on the food chain you are, like everybody knows at least 3 to 5 languages. So I'm like, damn, like I don't really know any Americans that know more than one language, like true American, like that's not an immigrant that doesn't have, because if you have like Latin parent, if you have like Spanish parents, they're going to teach you Spanish 9 times out of 10. But I'm talking about like an American that's just born in America, doesn't have immigrant parents, or even if they do have immigrant parents, a lot of times they only speak one language. So
why do you think that is?
Well, it's interesting. I guess because we are taught a language. Everybody's taught a second language in school. That says a lot about the American school system. If foreign language is part of a core curriculum, which it is, foreign language is part of core curriculum in school, how come nobody knows a foreign language?
Maybe because they don't want you to know. Like it's one of those things where like if you're rich, it's like looked at as an attractive thing, but if you're poor, it's looked at as, well, why don't you speak the language that you're supposed to hear? Because you'll hear a lot of that in Texas, Mississippi, etc. But my prevailing theory is they don't want you to know, because then if you're able to communicate in different languages and then you go abroad, you can start to unmask some of the untruths that are here about this country very quickly. Like America's nowhere near the most educated country, despite how much money we spend on education. Also, and I think because Rockefeller owns the American education system, maybe there was a little caveat for people not to learn or to use other languages frequently. So when they train you to have their jobs, that you don't plan to overthrow the company.
No, that's an interesting perspective for sure. Like you said, we probably spend the most money on education, but we're not in the top 20 on education
at all.
So, but that just really made me think, because I'm like, damn, if this is a core part of the curriculum, and 90%, 95% of the people that's going through the education system are not even halfway fluent in a second language, what else are we learning that we don't know? Right? Like what else part of the core curriculum are we learning that we don't know? We know science. Like science is part of a core curriculum. Most
people don't know science. Anything health related, most don't know. Like as much flack that RFK is getting, I do commend him for trying to get the dyes and making some changes in how the food is distributed and what things are being taken out. Because like you said, anytime you travel abroad, you can eat worse food in other countries and not feel as bad. So health sciences for sure. Math, I think the way that we are taught math in comparison to other countries is absolutely backwards.
It's total history.
Oh,
first, what we're taught in history is complete nonsense. But that's another core curriculum. That's part of the core curriculum. Nobody knows history. Basic fundamentals of history, right? Like basic fundamentals of history, the average person knows nothing about. So now I'm like, damn, like what is the point of really doing all this shit? You might as well just get an AI tutor. Like if we're gonna go through, when you think about it, from pre-K to high school, right?
Yep.
You going through 13, 14 years of schooling, then you go to college, 18 years. So you damn near doing 20 years of school to learn what exactly?
How to fit into society and not be a rebel. And I'm pro-education, but that's what it really teaches you. Because all the things that we're doing now, like even when I was having these talks, like in discussion, shout to Ty, when I was in college, everybody was like, you were crazy. I'm like, but you can't see the writing on the wall. Like I knew people who went to Kelley School of Business, one of the top business schools in the country, and they were not getting jobs in 05, 06, 07. I'm like, well, shit, if they got a 3.8 and they can't land at a top 4 accounting firm, maybe you need to make your own path. It sounds crazy now, but it's an over-indexing of it now. I think, and I'm seeing a lot of reports too of like wealthy Americans sending their kids to China to learn Mandarin for the summer. Like a lot. It's a camp for like 25 grand where they're going to teach your kid Mandarin. Why? They're top schools already, but they're going there to learn and have the experience abroad, just in case this China war does not go in our favor. So I think
stupid as far as like how we look at shit, like we trying to, in China they teaching kids Swahili and different African dialects because they understand, okay, if this is going to be our strategic plan for the next 100 years, we need to be able to communicate, to operate in the system. America, we so anti shit, like we don't even want to learn anything about other cultures because it feels like, oh, we don't have to. We get catered to, but that's a problem too because English is a crutch.
Yes.
Because no matter where you go in the world, somebody's gonna be able to speak English. So you don't technically have to learn another language, but that limits you because even learning another language that expands your brain.
Absolutely.
That it makes you look at the world differently. It makes you more intelligent. It helps you in a variety of different things. Yeah. So it's no coincidence that almost every other country in the world, people are fluent in multiple languages, and the one country in the world with the most dominant society is only fluent in one language, but then our society is on a downward spiral.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake. But yeah, AI tutoring, I would definitely use it for me and for Xander, and it's a better model, and you can learn a lot more. For all my parents this summer, whatever the grade they're going to, go up 3 grades in terms of the level of information and push your kids a little bit more. Like I never had my son at whatever current grade I never taught him out of that lesson plan. The world is moving too fast for sure. But speaking, go ahead.
She said the last thing about that too with the AI tutor, she said that it actually talks to him in steps so it's like, okay, how do you feel about this math problem? I didn't understand it. All right, well, let's go back. So it doesn't, you don't move ahead until you have full level of mastery on it.
Yep.
It's not like it's a 6-week program and then after 6 weeks we're gonna move on regardless. Like it's literally like me and you having a conversation. You feel comfortable talking to me because there's no other children around, right? So you don't feel embarrassed. It's just a one-on-one interaction. So there's no shame in you not understanding something, and then it's taking as much time as you possibly need. That time could be 10 minutes or a time could be 3 hours. So I'm personally going to try to use that for Spanish. I want to become fluent in Spanish. I'm lackluster in my fluency, but that's my goal. Hopefully AI can teach me Spanish. I'll keep you updated on how this is going.
That is a good investment.
With trips to Dykeman every once in a while as well. Maybe, allegedly.
Oh my God. Make them vibes go a little bit better too. Yo no sé. No sé. Vamos, amorcita. Oh my God. Why are parents spending so much on prom? This prom season, I'm seeing kids pulling up in Maybachs and Rolls Royces. And I saw a kid up there in Aston Martin. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
They always did spend a lot of money on prom. At one point in time, it switched from a collective to an individual. Yeah. That's a question that we got to figure out. When did that switch happen? Because when I was in school, everybody had a limousine.
Yeah. Yep. That was the vibe.
Now, when you have a limousine, you have 10 people in the limousine.
A group. Yeah.
Everybody chips in $250 and, it's done. But I think the fall of the limousine, because SUVs, like super SUVs, like the Suburban,
and
cars like
Suburban.
That, they took away the limo. You don't really see limos too much. That's like old school.
Yeah,
so I think when limos fell, that's when it became an individual thing of like, you don't, because like when you went to the prom,
Yeah, of course.
You had a limo.
Yep.
So you had like 5. It was like 5 couples in a limo.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think 4.
Yeah. See,
amazing time.
It was a cool. But that says a lot about the times that we're in too, right? Because it was a more communal aspect when we was growing up. There was no social media.
That's a great point.
You had communal. Everything was communal. It was a group. It was more group activities. Yeah. Now it's social media. It's all about individualism. It's all about me. And now kids is so. I say that to say when you just go and by yourself, it's going to be more money just off the rip. And then you don't really have too many options. What are you going to do? You're just going to go in like a SUV by yourself? That's not. So you got to have the Cullinan. You got to have a Maybach. You got to have.
In high school, and I'm with the Flexi, But okay, if that's the standard now,
you could do a sprinter if you want to bring back the group, the community group vibe. But that's only a couple. That might be like 2 couples.
Yeah. I just think for our community, I'm seeing kids have better experiences at prom than some adults have at their wedding. And going back to the doing too much too early, what do they have to look forward to? And it feels like this is a crowning achievement. And I want kids to celebrate, but this should not feel like you are coming back from the Olympics and celebrating as you're going to prom. Then the outfits, like it shipped me the other day. I forgot to send the fucking donations over because I had donated enough this year, and it was like, "Oh, the kids going to prom. Cool. How much is it? $7,000." I'm like, "What the fuck? They going to Harvard prom
for one kid?
For 2 kids?"
See, the thing about it too is that standards of luxury have increased in our community, even though the income has not. What I mean by that
is a great point.
In 1998, when Nas came out with "If I Ruled the World," what did he say? He said, "I push a G35 Infinite. I push a Q45 Infinity."
Yep.
That was like his dream of like, if I ruled the world, I push a Q45 Infinity.
Yeah.
A Q45 Infinity is a mid-level luxury car.
Yeah.
Right. Fast forward to today, when you got Kodak Black talking about, "I'm too rich to drive a Range Rover."
It's a bar though.
But I'm just saying, just think about that though, right? Like he told a Range Rover at one point was the highest level of luxury. Like Jay was talking about,
for sure.
Like
the only Puff and Suge had Bentleys back in the day, Rolls Royce. It was like the Cornetius, like.
So it went from like nurses. So what I'm saying is that the level of pressure of luxury has gone up tremendously. Back in the days, you used to be able to get away with, you know what I'm saying, just some fresh pair of Jordans, an Averex. Now these dudes, like, they paying Mike Amiri jeans and $15,000 for layaway jeans, and the level of luxury is at higher points than we've ever seen before. But the income has not increased.
Yep, and collectively broker than ever.
That's a fact.
Despite all the resources and knowledge and education, that's when people are like, well, listen, we've done our part to give you everything that you need. But the investment into the liabilities is way higher than that of the assets. Way higher. Even when we went to the Robin Hood conference, I was happy to see some of us there. I would have thought it would have been pre-invest fest with the way I see people posting screenshots, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's a lot of cap. Like, because the biggest accounts still are not us. Doesn't matter. Schwab, Robin Hood, Ninja Trader, it's still not us. So, but y'all put it in chat. Y'all sending y'all kids to the prom and the Rolls Royce.
Did you see the prom dress with the dollars made out of dollar signs?
No, I didn't see that.
Did you see the kid that had $100,000 in cash at the prom?
Oh, his daddy gonna get indicted. Listen, real quick, for y'all get the flexing in certain neighborhoods too hard. Shout out to everybody back home. Y'all need to be very careful with how far you going in the flexing for the people go.
Yo, they going too far, man. These kids going too far. But yeah, the prom. Shout out to everybody. Prom season.
Yep.
But yeah, it's definitely not a wedding. It's not a wedding. It's not a retirement party. It's a prom. So let's just keep that in perspective, right?
That's crazy. A prom dress made of $100 bills.
Nah, that's wicked work.
Wow,
it's wicked work.
And I want to know if y'all financing this on Klarna. Y'all about to bankrupt Klarna. Not y'all as in us, but just the collective American economy. I think they're sitting on $110 million in losses. Buy now, pay later. New PPP. Y'all better be careful out there, for real.
Hey, is entrepreneurship the new rat race?
That's a great question. I saw Elliot Hulse pose the other day, and I think so.
Who?
Think Elliot Hulse. He's like a OG YouTuber.
Okay.
I think same with podcasting. If the business model is wrong, yes. Because in entrepreneurship, you get to have all your free time and Make your own schedule. It does not work like that. You're going to work double the hours for probably the same pay. And most employees are getting more than most entrepreneurs on average. But I do think too many people who don't have the work ethic, acumen, or a strategic advantage are going into entrepreneurship and not being thankful for the jobs they have. I'll tell people all the time, like, if you're in corporate and you are doing pretty well and you know you don't have an advantage in the work ethic, stay in corporate. Yes, it's some bullshit you got to deal with. I think, and that's why I think investing in stocks is so important, because you get the benefit of all the great entrepreneurs without having to give up your free time. Like, we make it look easy. The boy just told you he had insomnia. He never got REM sleep. Since he left the school with Maria Sharapova teacher, he ain't got 1 ounce of REM sleep. Yo, motherfuckers be like, "Why your attitude so bad?" I'm up all night, 3 o'clock in the morning, looking at the German DAX, and y'all like, "Weren't you happy?" I'm not sleeping. So
Facts.
you have to be careful about getting into the wrong business, and if you don't have an advantage, you got to wait until you do have one. But what do you think?
I agree. I feel like, for me, I'm always going to support the entrepreneurs.
For sure.
I'm always going, because we need it. We need the entrepreneurs. But I just don't want people to I want people to fully be aware of what all of the aspects of it is. Mm-hmm. You gotta go through everything. You gotta go through everything in life. But I feel that a lot of times people have set themselves up for failure. We talked about this before. You're starting the wrong businesses. Mm-hmm. You're starting businesses that are not scalable. You're really changing one job for another.
For sure.
You're a self-employed employee. Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense, where you are just working for yourself, but you're not really an entrepreneur in the sense of having the ability to have some level of creativity, freedom, employ people, mm-hmm. Scale at in different varieties and start different businesses. Like, you just literally got to do one thing every single day, all day, mm-hmm. and that's what you're going to be doing for the next 10 years. That's not necessarily a recipe for business. Mm-mm. Business is like, you're supposed to be scaling. You're supposed to be thinking about new ideas. You're supposed to be doing new ventures. You're supposed to be meeting new people. You're supposed mm-hmm. to be employing people. That's business at the highest level, right? Like, that's what we need. Not necessarily just people that are employed by themselves.
Yeah, and we're not hating. I'm just telling you, I've been an entrepreneur a long time, since that fucking Wankster mixtape came out. Like, it's not easy. It's not easy. I know, because even the people who may want to compete against me because they don't like me, even though I helped you, it don't make sense. You don't have and I'm just being honest from a brand assessment standpoint. Before we even did the show, I had a bunch of people that I helped that went to my high school and college for free for 5 or 6 years. If you think you're just going to do a $20 version of Stock Club and call it Blue Dolphin and it work, bro, no. And then your account gets shut down for too many chargebacks. What do you do then? Or they don't want to pay you out for 3 months. And you think you're going to get paid as soon as they pay you. It doesn't work like that, bro. So I put the money away. Reinvest. So
Blue Dolphin is crazy.
Yeah, it happens.
Blue Dolphin.
Peace and blessings to y'all.
I'll tell you what. Shout out to Nori, a real podcaster that's actually getting rich off this shit.
Nori's running it up, yo. I'm not going.
That's a fact. But no, but it comes from a place of love, because I was a financial advisor, and I firsthand witnessed people that struggled, and there's nothing more demoralizing than losing your business, and that's something that could break somebody's spirit, ruin somebody's household. Mentally, it takes a toll on you, right? To put your whole life into something and to have it's an embarrassment. I'm just being honest, it's just real shit. This is what it is. It's embarrassing, and it leads to depression. Mm-hmm. It leads to high levels of anxiety. It leads to having a broken spirit. So you want to just put yourself in the best situation that you possibly can beforehand, because nothing is guaranteed. But that's the thing with our show, right? Like, we've provided, I think, a blueprint and information so you can have some level of safety net going into it, because you've been prepared. So it's like, okay, now I know that I got to have this reserves. I know that how to apply for business credit. I know how to properly network. I know the businesses that's scalable. I know how to have an MVP. You know, motherfuckers thought MVP was Djokovic. That's the only MVP they ever heard of.
Yep.
If we being honest,
if we're being super serious,
if we being honest about the shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, bro, like, you know, you go through all of this and it still might not work, but at least you're prepared, right? Like, we don't want to send people out there on kamikaze missions and they just
on a dummy mission.
Yeah, that's not helpful to anybody.
And even some of these life lessons, a lot of times in our community, they say, why don't we have anybody to instruct? You don't want to hear the information all the time. Like, I think one of the truest forms of love is to tell somebody the truth. You may not want to hear the Travis Hunter conversation. He's 20 something. Some of y'all are 35, and I'm like, what y'all want me to talk out on Blackout? Yo, I dated this girl. I took her in. I helped her do this. We grew up together. No prenup. I grew my stock portfolio to $4 million. Now she getting 3.6. How does that happen? I fucking told you to get a prenup. Because Stephon Diggs showed you, if you lie, you can have your way. That's the other conversation we got to have. A lot of y'all.
What's that mean?
You see, he was on the boat with Cardi and with the other little Yamins in the corner calling him daddy. That's what we'll call her daddy.
Oh, what was this recently? I'm out the loop. This is recently?
What?
Like this week?
This past what Memorial Day.
What? Oh, he was on
a yacht with Cardi. Cardi was in her little section with her friends on the boat. You know the boat play, and then you get to the other part of the boat, go act like you going to the bathroom.
The other part of the boat. Y'all don't know nothing about the other part of the
boat. Go to the other part of the boat.
About the other part of the
they
boat.
cornered him. He almost about to jump off the back of the boat the way they cornered him. Hey, daddy, three of them. He said, no, y'all just go over that party, have a good time. Come back to me in a little bit. If you don't lie, I got to give Maul credit because Maul was like, yo, she left one cheater for another. But if you don't lie and you're honest about how you're going to move.
It's not cheating.
Hello.
The other side of the boat play, only a few people. A few people.
Go to the bathroom, come back with 2 drinks, have 4 of them around you. Oh, I got you something to hear.
Because there's the back side of the boat, there's the front side of the boat,
there's
the middle of the boat, then there's the under the deck, then there's the top, then there's the top.
And then the take one with the captain play.
The take one with the captain play, legendary.
Get your little selfie with you. Gilligan's Island. Ooh boy. See, y'all potters can't do that because y'all ain't been nowhere. Y'all, every time y'all go to Miami and go to that seafair, y'all better tag me in it. What?
Oh, come on, man.
Take him to the captain. But speaking of flexing, you hear about the Bitcoin kidnapper? The dude had like, I think, $20 million in Bitcoin, and they kept him in New York, beating him up.
Let's
trying to get his key phrase.
Can we play the clip?
Yes.
Please, let's play this clip.
A crypto trader was arrested for kidnapping and torturing a man in an effort to steal his Bitcoin. Here's what happened. John Waltz, age 37, met with a 28-year-old Italian tourist in Manhattan on May 6th and allegedly worked with an unidentified, unapprehended male to take the victim back to a home he was renting in Nolita. According to police documents, Waltz and his accomplice kidnapped the victim, took his electronics and passport, and held him captive, torturing him for 17 days until he managed to escape. Law enforcement sources close to the investigation say Waltz and the tourist had been in business together for years prior to their encounter earlier this month, describing their relationship as complex. Authorities have stated that Waltz is a prominent crypto trader from Kentucky who is estimated to be worth about $100 million. The victim had an estimated worth of roughly $30 million. A criminal complaint alleges that while holding the tourist captive, Waltz and another man threatened to kill the victim and his family if he did not reveal his Bitcoin password. In other attempts to gain information that would allow the men to steal the victim's cryptocurrency, they allegedly beat him, shocked him with electric wires, and urinated on him multiple times. Upon further investigation, authorities discovered Polaroid photos showing the victim tied up, consistent with his claims that he was bound at the wrists. The men also allegedly put an Apple AirTag around the tourist's neck to ensure his location at all times. After he escaped, the victim was taken to a nearby hospital and is currently in stable condition, though he sustained a number of injuries including cuts and bruises from the torture, as well as marks on his wrists from being tied up. Waltz has been charged with second-degree assault, kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, and criminal possession of a firearm.
Okay. So this is interesting. It shows you that extortion goes a little bit higher than checking in California, right? Like extortion has many
faces.
Many faces. Let's just say that, many faces.
And I know a lot of y'all get on me for being elusive and secretive and but there's a reason why. Everyone be like, yo, no, they can never do nothing to you because it's in a brokerage account. No, they'll sit in the house with you until the brokerage open. They had this dude hold up, and the dude who did this is the part that most people don't talk about. Most of the extortion on this level happens from people that have money. This isn't somebody who was staying in fucking Virginia in the middle of nowhere, and then he came to New York. He had money. So you have to be mindful of the circle that you keep. And a lot of times when some of you are meeting new friends and just doing meetups randomly with people, the act like I'm your friend play is the play. Because that's why I tell you about all them accountability groups. Some of y'all have got like this. Oh, we're going to learn together. And then they're sitting and seeing how much you have. And then y'all go trade together. And then you can't get out the house until you give up the money.
And don't think those finger-proof safes is because motherfuckers, what they'll do is cut your hand off
easily
and use your finger.
Boy, yep. Put a little powder on it.
Be careful.
You have to be careful. Yep. That's every time I talk to them, I protect yourself in every area. The women you date, the friends you keep. I even like I'm gonna be real. I don't know Rashad's address. I respect it. Hey, yo, I got something I want to see. I'm seeing a Gatorade bottle and some merch from somebody gave me at the show. P.O. Box. Same shit where y'all seen that merch at. I said, that's my move. Ooh, even a driver. I had a driver drop me off at another building. Go right to the front door. Hey, let me up to the floor 19. Let me go take a view. And then as soon as I see him take off, I'm going to go walk an hour later to my building.
You gotta be careful. You gotta change your Uber Eats address, name, profile name.
Yep, for sure. Malachi,
and have them drop it off at the door,
and never open the door till they leave.
Never open the door.
They'll get you because for those you don't know who haven't been around any criminals, they'll sit on you for 3 months and figure out every move you go to, daycare, or what time you like to go creep. What time you like to go for your little jog in the evening, and at least when you expect it, Thanksgiving Eve. Hey, Playboy, gotta be careful. Speaking of being robbed, do you believe that Justin Bieber is broke? This is the other part of business that we have to talk about. How Bieber sold all them records, and he had to sell his catalog at how old Bieber? 29. This may be the youngest superstar to ever sell. Shout out to Ray Daniels. I know some people want to be like, well, maybe he didn't know the business. The business of the music business is drugging you up and making you broke to buy your shit off of you while I've been next to you for 10 years.
Man, it's an unfortunate situation. From what I heard, allegedly, it was saying, he sold this catalog for like $200 million a couple years ago.
Yep.
And they were saying that it was so bad, he sold it in December. And his manager at the time, Scooter Braun, was just telling me, at least if you're going to sell it, at least wait till January for tax reasons. And he said, bro, I can't wait. Needed it. Negative. Like dead broke. The thing about it, people might say, okay, somebody that generated over $1 billion in their career, how could they reach rock bottom to the point where they're broke? It's not as hard as you might think because you generate $1 billion, but how much money do you actually keep, right? Depending on your royalty deals, depending on if you own your masters or not, depending on a variety of different things. We're not even talking about taxes, lifestyle creep, all that type of shit. So let's say that you personally was able to keep $100 million, right? Throughout all of that shit. There's certain curses of being a superstar.
For sure.
For instance, even if you want to, you can't fly. You can't fly commercial.
Not
even
Bieber?
Even if you want to, though,
you can't.
Unless you got a Pooh Shiesty mask on, right? But even that, like, you're gonna have to give your ID to somebody at the counter, and they're gonna call, and they're gonna know that Justin Bieber's on it. Imagine Beyonce trying to walk in Delta Lounge,
yes,
right? So, okay, you're held captive by your celebrity, but that's costly because now you have to fly. It's not even a thing of like I'm trying to stunt. You have to fly private.
Yes,
those private planes add up. When you're not selling records no more, when you're not on tour, you still got to pay that private plane bill. Another thing that you cannot do is walk outside. You have to have security.
Have security.
24-hour security.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a thing of like, yo, even if you don't wear jewelry, like you're Justin Bieber, you're not a regular, you're Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Not having 24-hour security is not an option.
Mm-mm.
That adds up.
Yep.
You think Beyonce's just on tour because she wants to be on tour? Obviously, she doesn't need the money, but she understands I got to keep money flowing at all times.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber was not doing anything for a number of years. So
and that's the other move too. To if we have a little dispute, to not allow you to release, so I can drain your coffers to then put you on the road. One of the most important movies that you need to watch about the music business is the Elvis movie. Like Elvis was pretty much held captive in Vegas for 10 years while they drugged him up, and they were selling his merch. I think his merch is going for $85, but this is 1960. It's getting 0%.
Like your kids can't go to a regular school, even if you wanted them to. Yep. They can't go. They got to go to the highest level of private school. So a lot of this shit is just like it's the curse. It's almost like a gift and a curse, right? Mm-hmm. You're held prisoner of your success, and that comes at a high fee.
Yep.
And then a few bad financial mistakes, and then it's not hard to understand why somebody would, fall into financial hardship.
And you can say I'm a conspiracy theorist. SZA was very graceful and loving on that stage when he was on stage, though. You got to give her the most credit for guiding him. You can see him. It's almost like a cry for help.
Yeah, they say he on that Billy Bean.
But who gave it to him to get him? That's the other part about there's so many traps to look out for once you become successful. That's why I've been telling you, it's a sweet spot that you can hit and get rich, and you got to get out the way. You got to do the Khalees. I always ask, what happened to Nicole Scherzinger? Khalees, like Katy Perry, Billie Eilish, people who were on top of the music industry who just fade away and go somewhere else. Why? It's interesting. And it's always Michael Jackson overdose, Prince overdose, rapper got shot. Like Biggie and Tupac both got murdered, and Puff and Suge is in jail. That shit is crazy to me. There are no major hip hop labels right now. Shout to QC liquidating at the right time. When you have that much preponderance of data and the ratio goes like 2% of people make it out safely and 98% don't. How Elvis and Bieber and Prince and Michael Jackson and Tupac and Biggie all go broke. Jay and Nas really only one. They're saying the fucking doctor drugged Kanye with nitrous and he ain't went to court. Shit is crazy. And then you're like, what are you in Africa? Why aren't you there? Why are you going to Mexico? You got dyes in the kid cereal that you can't feed your dog in another country. Even in my Japan research, you can't even bring over-the-counter medicine from America into Japan. It's poison to them in their waterways. I thought that was fascinating. But what do we know? We're just
some talking heads on YouTube.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, before we leave, let's talk about
Papoose again. I'm joking.
Papoose. Papoose. How long should you date somebody before you live with them?
I don't know. You building a palace? You tell me.
I don't believe in living with somebody that you're dating.
Wait, wake it up. Wait, tell me more. Hold on, let me get a pen.
Well, if we live together, we're engaged or we're married.
Okay, you cooking? Keep going. Cooking with Bilal. Go ahead.
Because you see, what's the point? What's the point of living together? Like you setting a dangerous precedent,
especially legally too, depending on what state you're in.
That's a fact. Common law living. Common law living. If we live together, we're engaged or we're married. That's just me. That's just me personally.
That's a great law. This is You Deserve to Be Rich. What chapter this is? Yo, y'all go re-record. Open up D&D again and go hit the bonus chapters. This is a great lesson.
What about you? What's your thoughts?
I agree with you. After I got my lawyer when I had my little mediation. He was like, anytime anybody lives with you going forward, you have to make them sign an agreement that they are renting from you, even if they pay nothing. A man of your stature has too much to lose, and if they're with you, they're not going to want to leave. That's why I tell y'all, hey, you got to block sometimes. I mean, you toxic. Yo, I broke up with somebody and she stole my car one time. I ain't even gonna hold you. Shout out to my brother, Bud. He was like, yo, what's going on? Let her take it. Houston police get it back. Go on, crash the shit. Like the stuff you go through. That's why I be telling, like, shout the mooks. Like, yo, it's shit that you're gonna go through after you thought you'd never go through.
That's right.
You got to make them sign those agreements. And fellas, get these agreement talks out the way, so then the prenup conversation be easy. A lot of y'all be waiting to the last minute, and then now you're changing up. I say mine publicly and privately, but yeah, I think that's a great rule. But because I know from a legal standpoint, if a person's with you longer than 8 months, you can't just have them removed from the estate or residence easily, and then you're under a certain amount of obligations for sure. So you got to be careful.
All right.
Have them stay 4 or 5 days, and then go home and send them for a little spa day, and then have them come. Oh, I miss you. And absence make the heart grow fonder.
That's a fact. Ain't nothing wrong with a weekend warrior.
That's really it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, half Monday. Got to record.
Monday's pushing it.
3 days max. Have you ever been in love, yo? Yeah, for sure. And I'm just saying 3 days is pushing it. That's all. No disrespect. You mean for a vibe or a girlfriend? For a vibe, for sure. 1.5 be like, yo, you don't got that?
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
shout out to Stephon Diggs, though.
But I do believe in the marriage. I do believe in institutional marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So if you get married, we got to go on tour, so you won't be in the house with the wife all the time, allegedly.
Unless you do the 2-play.
Yeah.
Blackout
after dark.
Blackout after dark. Blackout.
We are going to get in trouble. These may have to be live sessions, like poetry slams.
Blackout after dark.
Oh, the 2. Oh, got you. All right. Got you. GM.
Allegedly.
Okay. That's a good conversation, though.
Jokes written by 85 South.
Yeah, because you got to see how many minimum to keep the peace in mind. And
minimum.
You got to talk.
What's the account minimum?
See,
to make sure it's funded correctly.
The NBA has always done big 3, so I think that's a good starting place.
Big 3. The big 3.
Oh my God. My God. So what can you do?
What can you do?
Mm-hmm.
What can you do? Blame America, not me.
For sure.
All right, guys. Before we get exiled, I gotta come back home. At least for the time being.
Blame me. These are my topics.
I can't go too far. Go too far in this situation.
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real.
Oh, a lot of you Red Pill. Let me give an update to you podcasters. Give y'all a gem. A lot of y'all are getting classified as terrorist groups.
What?
For the no bullshit.
Podcasters
and YouTubers who are doing that hard. Man, you go in the kitchen and only cook, and this is how you talk to your woman. You're getting demonetized, but a lot of y'all are getting put on a list. This is no joke. They came out with a list, I think 2 weeks ago, of people who were potential harms to society from a governing body. I said, "Oh, this shit real." So
shit realer than you think. Man. Words have power, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
Get your tickets to InvestFest, investfest.com. Ladies and gentlemen, IanInvest.com, Red Panda Rebellion. Stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff cooking up. Where to next? We'll be in a different country, God willing, next time you see us.
Well, what's been your greatest experience in the continent so far before we wrap up?
Just the people, man. Just connecting with people. Everybody's been very hospitable, very open to figuring out, how we could potentially do stuff. Seen a bunch of real estate projects.
Yeah, whatever one y'all get into on the record, just AB.
Oh no, for sure. I'll
Neighbors.
send you the PowerPoint presentation.
Thank you.
So yeah.
PH 3 and 8. Like
that's a fact.
Yes. Okay.
That's a fact, man.
Hey, international exposure.
It's been good, man. It's been good to get away and just meet a lot of smart people. It's a lot of smart people on the continent. So
yeah. Shout
out to Africa.
Yeah. You sad to be leaving?
Yeah, we still got some time. So, I'm not leaving yet.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
Not done.
Not done.
Why can't we all just get along? Oh my God.
It's a better ecosystem if we do.
Because you said it, people don't share information, and then it's like, damn, well, you can't share information if we beefing.
Facts.
Like something.
Facts.
I used to think Joe was wrong for gatekeeping. I understand it now. Lethal shooter. But I get it. Great.
I understand it. I understand it now.
For real.
Shout out to Lethal. All right, my brother.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
It's been real. Ladies and gentlemen.